Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? With your host, the unapologetic diva, Dr. G, the girlfriend therapist, Dr. Cortina Lewis, and the networking extraordinaire, Diana Richardson Philippus. Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? This is Herspiration Happy Hour.
Happy Wednesday. We are back. This is your unapologetic diva, Dr. G.
This is the girlfriend therapist, Cortina Peters Lewis.
This is your networking extraordinaire, Diana Richardson Philippus. Ooh.
And yours truly, Shay Walker, the coach of courage.
Ladies, we are back. How was the summer break?
It's good. Summer's still going on, but it's good. It's good.
I don't know. Let me tell you, I was walking yesterday. Jay and I went for a walk, maybe day before yesterday, and to see like the leaves starting to fall from the trees, at least in Maryland, I was like, summer's leaving.
Yeah.
Summer is leaving, and we're coming off a summer hiatus. So, I mean, so it's still summering for some of us, and it's starting to fall for others, like myself. How did you do this summer break? What was some of the things that you all ladies did? Diana, let's start with you. Kick this off. What have you been up to?
I've been up to a couple things, just spending some time with family. Had a book tour, still am on book tour right now. I just finished 2 legs in Georgia, in Beaufort, Georgia, and in Peachtree City. And we are headed next to Orlando. And then we'll wrap up in Houston, Texas. So that has been absolutely amazing. So, yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Cortina, besides sending off the college students?
I was going to say, sending off my baby, and I'm sending her off again on Friday because she finished her first semester. And she got an A and a B. So she's here in the house and she leaves on Thursday. So that's going to be bittersweet again. So I've been doing that and just working a lot more because I have this new venture that I'm working on. So that takes like part of my time too, where I would be like having rest, but it's a lot of paperwork, logistical type of stuff that I'm working on. So outside of that, I'm looking forward to seeing the ladies this weekend. Sorry, Pam, we won't see you, but looking forward to having them, and it's going to be fun.
Okay, and Shay, what have you been up to this summer? And the hair is herring, besides the herring and the weight loss that you've been over there getting snapped.
Right?
Oh, my God. Woo! I just feel restored. Like I have just been basking in the glory of restoration. Man. Ooh. This is just a wow, God, you did your doggone thing for me. You know what I mean? And that's just where I'm at. So I'm trying to describe it the best way I can, but that's all I got, man. I mean, and it's just reviving me. I'm watching myself come back to life, like being intentional about how I want to move, how I want to feel, how I want to look, what I want to do. Like, it just feels good to be there. It's like I'm coming out of the valley in this moment. And whoo, thank you, Daddy, for letting me go outside again a little bit, So, because the weight, it can feel a little heavy sometimes. And so, just watching myself continue to grow up and evolve spiritually, man, it's been mind-blowing to me to see it from that perspective. So yeah, I'm happy.
Okay. I was like soft life living somewhat and a little bit of work. I've been mostly writing this summer. I've done a lot of writing and a lot of working with the illustration for the newest children's book that's coming out. I did 2 tours, and then I've just been like, just soft life. I'm just traveling and hanging out with friends and being intentional about different things. And I I said I was going to be sharing at first, just being able to, see friends that I haven't seen in a long time. And I've just been, even though I have some pictures, I've been so intentional about spending the time that I've been less worried about, oh, let me capture content for social media. And then I've been birthday planning because hello, I'm getting ready to be 50. But besides that, I've just enjoyed the time to just kind of relax, relate, and just breathe and reflect and just, enjoy. I've enjoyed my summer. Totally have enjoyed my summer. And when you talk, sometimes when you pause, you kind of get to know a little more about yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much me. Cortina, do we have a drink for today?
We do. It's called the Herspiration Spritz.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So it's bubbly, bright. We're a little sassy too. So it's perfect for toasting every episode. So since this is our first episode back, I'm gonna do a little cheers. So basically, I picked gin because I know Pam, you like gin. So 1.5 ounces of pink gin, though, and we're gonna add a little splash of grenadine to make it a little bit more intense with that pink color. 0.75 ounces of elderflower liqueur. So we want, a little bit of sweetness, but not too overpowering. We want 0.5 ounces of lemon juice, 2 ounces of sparkling rosé. And we want to muddle some strawberries for the garnish at the bottom. And so basically we want to pour it, shake well, with ice, and then we just want to pour it in our glass over ice. We want to make sure that we strain the muddled strawberries. Now, I'm not a big strawberry person, so I would strain my strawberries. I wouldn't put them in the drink, but some people, they like that. So if you like that,
leave it.
You could leave it. I wouldn't leave it in mine. And yeah, that's what you do. So it's our Herspiration Spritz.
I like it. I like the gin. It somewhat almost reminds me of my Gin 75 when you was like, hey, champagne.
I'm not the biggest gin person, but I was like, we all have to have a little bit of, hearts in there, Yeah. So that's why I was like, you know what? That sounds good. So I'm going to give each of us an ingredient. So I like purple. I think I'll be the elderflower. I'm going to give Diana the strawberries, I'm going to give you the gin, Pam, and I am going to give Shay the sparkling rosé since she's basking and glowing and everything. So she gets the sparkling rosé.
Okay.
Love it.
This is what I've missed you ladies. I'm so mad that I can't come this weekend. I'll be driving back on Saturday back home. Jay flies in Friday night so he can ride home with me. Taking the trek, it was going to make, when you purchase an EV car, it's like it's not one shot going home. So he just said he's going to come home and ride just in case, so we can just enjoy the ride together. But yeah, I've totally missed you ladies. I'm like, oh shit. And at first I was going to go, and then a whole monkey wrench when they tell you your car will be ready in 2 to 4 weeks and then tell you in 2 days, oh, your car's ready. Like, the hell? But hey, it is what it is. I love her. She's sitting outside. So I just got down to Alabama today. It's just something. But speaking of relationships, I'm going to tell you our topic is, since we all are like sisters on here and we are all closely knit, and I really missed you all. I was looking on social media and somebody had made a post, or it's like a podcast or something, and they were saying that a woman with no friends is like is a very smart woman, and people were saying that's why I don't have friends and blah blah blah, but they were saying how powerful she was and how secure she was, and I was like, yo, I have a wide range of friends and people who I can actually call friend. And I said, maybe it's because I'm grown up now and that I look at friendship differently. But just looking at the comments of how the negative reaction, well, the positive reactions to that, saying how they don't trust women and all their bad experiences. And then ladies, we was on the call briefly, and I mentioned how I appreciate the friendships that I've lost. It's taught me a lot. One, about myself. It's taught me how to protect myself. It's taught me how to put up boundaries. And so I'm like, but I still have been able to forge better friendships because of the ones that were not so good. Or sometimes we just literally outgrew our season, and that's been okay. And so, ladies, I would just like to hear your points of view on women, one, who don't feel like they don't have friendships because they don't trust women. And then what have you learned from the friendships that have now dissolved themselves for one reason or another? Whoever wants to go first.
I think that is, and I know everybody's experience is different, but for me, it's sad to hear someone say, I don't have friends. And not because I don't want them, but because experiences in my past have taught me not to trust people. She's speaking from a place of a wound, and not having friends is her form of protection so that I'm not hurt again the way that I was previously. But I'm going to say I've been hurt in friendships, but that never even crossed my mind to not have friends, right? And I know we always talk about on this podcast how there are different levels of friends and different friends that you go to for different things. Right. And so I think it's important to have those different people that you can identify for different things. And the fact that she doesn't trust anybody she doesn't even have a circle, anybody to be able to have such a beautiful blossoming relationship with, that makes me sad that she is preventing herself from being able to have the experience of what true sisterhood friendship feels like and what that could look like. So I think that's some BS that people are praising that, because I think it continues to perpetuate that you can't be friends with women. Women can't get along.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I feel like I live very loud for my friendships. You know what I'm saying? I don't hide my relationships. I'm very supportive of my friends. I'm going to show up for my friends because I think that it's important that other women actually see what a healthy friendship look like. But I also, me and Cortina say this all the time. I also need low maintenance friends. Because that's important, because all of my friends are either business owners, career women, like we're busy, which hit me a little differently when I found out like the men have a whole text chat and they're always chatting. I'm like, what the hell? What are they doing? What are they doing right that we're not doing? We're all in the same chat, and unless we are traveling, we aren't talking. I text you ladies every morning, but I mean, they kind of got a running text message throughout
every day. Every day, multiple times a day.
I'm like, oh, this is
I
interesting.
just say y'all got too much time on your hands, apparently, because I ain't got that type of time to be texting multiple times. I wish no, I don't.
And my heart is in the right place. I be mentally texting y'all back in the morning.
Goodbye.
We don't even, Cortina, we're so used to you we are shocked.
And here comes my fan with that one, because I'm not talking about she be mentally texting us back.
I do, but I know y'all be surprised when y'all be like, what the hell?
Yes, when you respond
to Cortina,
I'll be like, Cortina responded today.
Especially if it's coming in and it says Cortina. I was like, does that say Cortina? Yeah.
Look, I personally feel like she knows what's going on. She's just, again, she's responding in her mind.
Yeah,
we can feel her heart like, we good. And then she'll check in, hey y'all, with something. So react.
I at least try to heart it. If I don't have time, I at least try to drop a heart on something. I see y'all. I see you.
Yes, for sure. So I know, Shay, you was talking about, this is such a good topic when we was just talking about some of the things that we was going to talk about for the rest of the season. And you was like, oh, this one is so good. Mm-hmm. So, what has been your experience with friendships and those that have dissolved for one reason or another, good, bad, or indifferent, and how that's really like either elevated you as a friend or a woman, or lessons that you've been able to take hold of to move forward?
So being able to see myself outside of the season, aka healed, it gives you a 360 view. And what's beautiful about it is you have to see you in every situation, and you have to be honest about what you see, so that you can truly recognize what's happening in the season. Once you master that thing, you're okay with whatever happens, and you are gracefully about it all. So whether you're transitioning in something or transitioning out of something, the thing about it is we don't skip a beat, because the moment something moves, something new comes, right? And so it's just been a beautiful process, and I'm learning more about it, and it's been very emotional. It's hurt to let some things go. It's hurt to realize that, wow, this person is not coming back, like really truly accepting that. It hurts. And so you have to really give yourself permission to feel what that is. Now, on the other hand, sometimes you need to accept that, hey, it is what it is, and I'm good with what it is, and I'm okay if we ever never speak again. Because if it's not, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't meant to happen. Whether I was wrong or right in the situation, it don't matter. It happened. It's something, you earn something from it. Yes, it might hurt a little bit. And so accepting just how to feel it for real, really, really feel it, and acknowledge how I showed up and how it affected me, and be honest about it, has allowed me to just be graceful about whatever happens. So when it's given to me, I make my effort to be very present. I believe in reciprocity. And so I want to be very intentional about what I have. I want to be a good steward over what God has given me now. And so I want to be present. And I'm okay with our vacations. I know who I need to call when I need to call them. And I think that's all of us. And I think it's a beautiful place to be. Yeah. So I can't even call that low maintenance. I feel like that's very high maintenance, to be so present that even when you're not physically present, we can feel your presence.
Yeah. No, I agree. What about you, Diana?
So I'm not lost, but it's such a loaded topic a little bit. It's twofold, because one, it's the social media that you saw, which I've seen repeatedly. And I got something different from it, but then again, I didn't go to the comments either. Y'all know I just don't. But then when I think about women who don't trust other women, and would prefer not to have women friends, I know someone that is like that, or was like that, because that's a whole nother topic. But she just, she didn't have a trust for women, and was very verbal, and upfront about it. And it really showed in her interaction, right? Because, here I am like, hey girl, because I thought she was nice until she wasn't. And then when she told me, she told me something that happened to her, and I won't speak that because, just for the sake of maybe this person is watching, whatever. Something that happened to her with a best friend. And then after that, she just, I guess her trust for women just went down, and she just didn't want to be, close like that with women. She preferred having male friends. Okay, cool. For me personally, I believe in the power of sisterhood, hence Empowered Women Empower. I do understand and am cognizant of the fact that, yes, some women are catty. I mean, I'm just going to put it on the table for what it is. Yes, they are. Some women are catty. Some women just do not make great friends. But that's women and men. Hold on, right? That can go in either bucket. But you have to have, how do I want to word this? You can't let one situation, or even two, because I've been hurt by people multiple times in my life, women. right, as friends. I've experienced hurt and being disappointed and quite frankly betrayed. But like you, Cortina, I never once thought to myself like, oh, that's it. I'm never going to be friends with women ever again in my life. No, you know, you can't, you just have to take every situation for what it is. And I think that for each, or at least for me, because I can't speak for anyone but myself, but I think for each situation that I incurred where I was betrayed or disappointed, or even it was me, because I've had some friendships that I've lost because of me. You know, I can be transparent and honest. It was me that did it. It was me. I didn't realize it at the time. But, you know, as you mature, this was younger, you know, extremely younger in life, you know, as you mature, you understand certain things. But I still just feel like you just have to keep going. You know, you take something from every situation and you learn. And then you're able to discern what true friendship is. And you're able at that point to make wise decisions as to whom you want to be friends with. And I think that's the key in it all, being able to discern who's that quality friend. You know, you can see it in them. I mean, I'm about to be 50. I can spot it a mile away, like, oh, she is definitely not it, but that's fine. We still gonna be cool though, you know, because I'm gonna be cool with you, you know, but you over here. You can be there.
I think that's the big part, is discernment. Sometimes people just feel like just because you're nice, you're friend material. You have to know what it is that you're looking for, or what your friendship expectations are. Just like how we look for different characteristics in men and different people who we're dating, you also have to be aware of what type of friend am I, and what type of friend and what type of qualities, what type of personality might I be looking for in a friend. So you just don't, you know, be like, yeah, we're going to be friends. And it's just because it's the first person that came along. No, does this person even display friendship-like characteristics? You can't be shocked if this friend turns out to be a no good ass friend, and you already saw that in the way that they treated their other friends. So why would you think in your mind that you would be any different if they're talking about everybody else? And you have to know at some point or something, oh, this man here, or this or that, or, you know, boasting and bragging. It's like, is that the type of person that I feel like I want in my circle? Probably not. We might be able to be cool, but I'm not going to let you in my inner circle. Right. So if I'm already mindful, if I am aware that that's not the type of friend that I'm looking for, I won't even allow it to go there. Like Elizabeth said, yeah. Don't ignore the red flags. We talk about red, yellow, green flags in relationships. A friendship is a relationship. Yes, you cannot ignore the dynamics and the importance of red flags in friendships. And I'm not even talking about once you're in the friendship, before you even get to where you're calling this person a friend.
Exactly. I would agree with you, because I know for me, I remember, I want to say her name so bad, but I'm not. But this woman, like, I liked her. I really did, you know, but I would see how she would talk. Like, she was one, I think we've had this conversation before. Shade. I don't do shade. Like, y'all know me. Have y'all ever heard me throw some shade at somebody? Like, I have never in my life understood how, now don't get me wrong. Now there's some, I guess you could call it shade, where you're just being playful. Like, girl, I don't even know. Cause see, I'm not even in tune with what shade might be. So let me just bypass that. Hold on. Let me just rewind that real quick. But she would like throw shade a lot. And I mean, I'm transparent. I'm sensitive. I really am. I am a sensitive person, and I don't understand shade, because if we cool, why would you want to throw daggers at me? For what? So I forgot where I was going, but I just wanted to add that in there.
No, you're absolutely right. I think for me, I just live so authentically that I'm not going to, how I show up is who you're going to get. And so I also feel like it's not that I let everybody in. I'm just always free to be me in every space. And I'm like, I do have people like if something's going on, I just need to vent. I know who in my bag of nuts to call, as we always talked about. But when people just interact with me, I don't mind being transparent because once you put your life out there any old damn way, like what can you say to me that what you gonna really say, boo? You are not going. There's nothing that you can say that I've not already accepted about me. And the other part is, I guess I've never really give a damn whether people come or go. I let people go, and I just let people go. There is no love loss. There's no communication. I just basically can kill you off in my mind, and that be it. And I'm not even rude about it or nice or nasty about it. If I ever see you in public, I'll still speak because I'm not carrying that energy, but I'm also not going to just categorize everybody as a friend. I'm not going to do that. But when you are in my inner circle, what is he doing? Sorry, y'all. My mom got him all, and he never really barked. So this is a first. Take him with you. Gracious. But I'm also one of those. I have lifer friends that I have friends for 30 years. I have friends that I've known since 4th grade, and legitimately I can call them friends.
Oh.
You're not ever really hearing him. Take him out. Thank you. Shut this door.
Kofi is not a friend right now.
Hey, Kofi is about to get a pow. That's what's about to happen.
And y'all know, as much as he's been on here, y'all have never heard this dog bark.
Let that man live, okay? Let that man live. He a grown man.
This is signature Herspiration Happy Hour. This is what it is.
Now you know what he's doing? He's making Shay right when she calls him Thug Life.
Thug Life.
Thug Life.
Thug it out, Kofi.
Yes, that's his nickname, Thug Life.
But I also will say this. I think that friends who have, I feel like, violated boundaries, it's taught me how to put a stronger defense mechanism in place for those things so that they don't happen. Because when somebody feels so comfortable that they can do that, then I have to say, let me take a step back and see, and I have to understand why this person feels so comfortable not only violating boundaries, but being disrespectful. It's like, did I ignore it the first time, or did I, you know what I'm saying? But and the other part is, I don't deal with people who are not willing to accept accountability. That's an automatic, sorry, you got to go. I don't deal in those things, because when I'm talking to you, if you hurt me, or I feel like you've disrespected me, even if it was not intentional, a friend will listen and say that was not the intention, versus saying, oh, I was just playing. Well, bitch, there's a hint of truth in every joke, and I'm not one of those. So I'm going to cut you off.
Here's the thing. I think we all human, okay, give this thing way too much energy, because every single relationship in our lives is trial and error. I don't care what it is. True. Whether it's a job, all of it is trial and error. Yeah. And so you are going to lose or gain either way. And so you just have to, it emotionally trains you. It always sends you back to where you should be, realizing what it is that you need. Well, whatever it is that you need to also be willing to give. Yes. You know what I mean? Understand the real, definition of reciprocity. And so when you learn that, you become a little bit tougher, and it won't hurt so bad when the seasons, shift, because it may not be forever. Right now in this season, we may look at it and it may, show up as it's forever, but we don't know what God's going to do tomorrow. And so that same person that we think is, it's over and done with, you could run them to him tomorrow, and you could have something come up. And who are you to dictate what's going to happen? You can't dictate how God going to use it.
Depending on what they did, I can dictate.
But it doesn't. But here's the thing.
I can dictate.
But here's the thing. At some point in life, we've offended somebody. The same way we feel offended, we've offended somebody else. And so everything we need to continue to move forward, we have to be willing to give. And so it balances itself. But the thing about it is, we're not going to be in too many interrupted seasons because we are gaining wisdom. We're learning from the experience and we're learning how to navigate. We are understanding how important discernment is. So as we navigate forward, we'll be able to recognize it and call it what it is. We know the difference.
We do.
We know the difference. So that's how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're spot on. But I can say this. There are certain things that people just can't come back from. I can give people, I believe in grace. Like, I'm big on grace because I want grace. So I'm huge on grace. However, there are certain boundaries that once crossed, that's it. I can love you. I could still want to be your friend somewhere inside, deep inside. But once there's certain boundaries that are crossed, I can't do it. Because I feel like, or what's the saying? You know, they say when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. My husband used to call me a softie for my friends. He did, y'all. I really am soft with my friends because I be loving them. I do. And I had a couple, he was like, Diana, so you just gone. And as fiery as I can be in certain situations, because I got some fire with me. When I love you, I can't. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I just
Let me show you something right here, though, Diana. This is why it's so important to sharpen each other, because I'm going to show you something right here. I absolutely, truly understand and 100% agree with you. But here's the thing.
Yes.
We all just agree that once somebody show you who they are, believe them the first time, right? We all agree about that, right? So then how did we get to the place that we allowed a second time to even happen? Because you should have stood on what you saw. Here's the thing, you should have stood on what you saw the first time.
But that comes with discernment and maturity.
Again, you saw what you saw, you continue to see what you see, but you also continue to stay. So you set yourself up to be disappointed. So that's my point. We have to stop ignoring what we see the first time.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Exactly. And that's what happens once you offend me and it hurt me and I communicate how it made me feel and we attempt to move past it and you show up the same way. It's on me now.
True.
It's on me because we should have stood on what we saw the first time.
On business.
Stand on business.
So everything after the first time is all on us.
Let's say
everything.
One time, shame on you, or shame on them.
Absolutely.
One time, shame on me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I will say one of the things that you was talking about was reciprocity. I don't go into relationships giving and expecting that to be done in return, except for like loyalty, respect. Things that are like really non-tangible, that are moral compasses for me. That's the only thing that I would say reciprocate. But how I show up for my friends, I don't expect that back from people. I don't expect people to hop on a plane and the day before and just show up for me because I've done it. Yeah. But I'm a very giving person in that aspect because I really truly value my friendships and or any relationships that I'm willing to go above and beyond for. That's the way I show up. But not everybody shows up in that same way. So, but I'm not saying just totally be, disregard me at the same time too. But every relationship, even friendships, have a different love language, and all of ours can look different in how we show up. So I don't necessarily walk into anything expecting reciprocity, because I feel like I will be setting myself up for failure and my energy is going to shift as soon as something does not meet my expectation. Right. So as long as I know I show up as who I am, I'm either going to teach someone or show someone how to be a better friend, love in a certain way, but also be respectful that they are going to be individuals. So for me, it lessens the stress. So when I do let go, and depart from those relationships, I'm vocal about it, because I will say it don't always come out that way. But I'm also, sometimes I don't believe in having to explain etiquette to some people. We're all grown. So once I say that you've hurt me and you take it as a joke and all that, I don't joke, because I don't play around with my feelings. And so I'm not going to let you play around with my feelings either. I'm gonna cancel Christmas on that ass, and I'm just going to be done. And there are certain ones that maybe eventually I will let you back in, but I'd have to see change. And then there are some that absolutely not. I'm just not going to let back in because of the level of disrespect in how you handled it when I brought it to you like a grown ass adult.
Amen.
So, so there's just different ways that I look at. But the other part is, each one of my friends have taught me how to be a better friend in a different way. And I love that about my relationship. So I look for growth. I look for reasons to grow. I look for reasons to be introspective and say, wow, you know what? I might need, this is good. I need to take that. But that's helped me become a much better friend, to always think outside of myself.
So I would like to add something. Everything you said, Pam, that was delicious. So I started this thing about 2 years ago. I started analyzing, like I started giving myself reasons to stay. Why am I staying? Why am I staying connected? What are the reasons? I wanted to identify why I'm staying, because in that process, it was allowing me to see me and how I'm showing up in relationships. And then I'm able to see what's going on. Let's just say, example with you, I'm able to see what's going on with you and how I need to sharpen my posture so that I can continue to be more present and making sure that, hey, I'm right here, so I've just been doing that. You know how we always write down pros and cons of things? That's what I've been doing, giving myself reasons to stay. Why am I continuing to stay connected? Why am I investing so much? Why am I choosing to show up even more? Or why have I failed back? Or wait, is it me? Have I become too distracted? Like, I'm trying to look at everything from a 360 view now, because I want to make sure that I do not mishandle my season.
I love that. I like the mishandle my season part. Hey.
I like the fact that the friends that I do have, there's not a lot of times where I feel misunderstood, right? I feel like they understand my process, which makes the friendship easier, right? So just like you all, Pam, you text every day. I have never received a shade type of throwing comment from you, like, oh, you answer her but you don't answer me. Like, I've never felt negative energy in that way, right? And so I think I really appreciate it. Like, any of you, like, if I know it's important, I'm definitely gonna take the time to have a conversation, to talk to you. I'm definitely gonna do that. But I appreciate the friendships that I do have, where I don't have that pressure on me, like, oh my God, they're gonna be mad at me. Oh my, where I'm full of anxiety, because I was in the situation, and I think it was codependence, but I would always be like, if I didn't respond to the text in 5 minutes, they're gonna be saying something sideways. Like, I know you saw my text. Child. I have a minute, like, God, like, you clocking me on when I text you and stuff like that. And so I really take time to reflect on the adult friendships that I have right now in my life, and how valuable and special they are for me, because I remember a time when I did not necessarily have that from all the people that I consider friends. And I say that I consider friends because there are people that you consider friends, they don't consider you a friend. And so being able to evaluate your position in people's lives, and there are people that consider you friends, and you're like, I mean, we associates. I mean,
that is very true.
And so being mindful, if you are considering somebody a friend, do they also consider you a friend?
Mm-hmm.
And
How
what
do you know? But how do you
Yeah, how do you know?
conversation to say, are we friends?
so let me
Are we not?
this came up. I was talking to a patient, and she thought in her mind, like, these are the people that would be in my wedding. These are the people that I feel like are my friends. This is my friend, like my close friend. Well, when her friend got engaged, she wasn't on the be in the wedding roster. So in her mind, the type of friend I thought that we were, because in my wedding, you would be my maid of honor. I'm not even anywhere in your line of hostess, helper, nothing, right? And so I think those are, I mean, you don't got to sit down and have like a formal conversation, but I think just sharing, not that you expect for them to feel the same way about you, but I consider you to be a close friend. I know we don't talk much, but you are in my friendship circle. I feel like if I needed something from you, I feel like I could come to you. That's so that you are communicating with people where you stand. So people are not out here just willy-nilly, like, are we friends? Like, it, because there are certain people, I think the type of heart I have, I think I would, if somebody really needed me, I would be there. But I have those people with beyond the shadow of a doubt. It doesn't matter. If any of y'all called me, I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning, make sure you call a couple times because I might not hear it. But I know that it wouldn't even be, I wouldn't even have to think twice about being there for you.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have to talk to my friends every day, because some people go by the amount and the close proximity that they talk to their friend every day, right? Quantity does not define quality.
Come on.
I have my friend Whitney. We might talk once a month. I send her memes or whatever. She is Morgan's godmother. Like, that is my ride or die. Like, I know that if anything, if I need to talk, but we don't talk every day. And I don't expect to talk to her every day, right? There's an understanding. And then you have some people you might talk to every day, just y'all might work together. Just because I talk to you every day, that don't mean you on the same level as the person I only talk to like twice a month.
Exactly.
So I think that's a big thing in relationships too, where people, they get caught up in, well, I talk to this person more, so that means they're closer. Not necessarily.
They don't mean that.
The two are not, they don't mean the same thing. So I think people need to evaluate the quality, the strength of the friendship. Do we go deep, or are we just shallow? Can we talk about spiritual stuff on a deeper level? Can we talk about stuff that has hurt us? Can I really share where I am emotionally and mentally with this person? Or are we just talking about, girl, I just went to this concert. Oh, I just bought this. Oh, yeah, I'm talking to him. You might
and feel safe in that process of sharing with that person, right? Do I feel safe enough to even divulge the deeper parts of me with that person and know it ain't going nowhere?
It ain't going nowhere. It's
Come on.
Right here. Because if I'm not sharing deeper stuff, that's an indication of how much you trust that person. Because if I'm not sharing with you, there's a reason why. About you that doesn't make me feel vulnerable enough with you to share all of that with you. Like I said, there are different level of friends. So, but if I just have a friend that I'm talking to every day and you still don't feel comfortable enough to go deep with them, that's an indication the friendship ain't really friending like you think it is.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh no, I 100% agree. But
it's important to understand what access really means, because I mean, my seasons are sensitive. Every season is sensitive for me. And having access, understanding the real weight of access, that's important. So I have access to you ladies, and I understand what's happening behind the scenes. I have access. You have access to me. I have access to you. I met Diana and Cortina through Pam. Pam and I have known each other the longest, but me and Pam don't talk all the time on the phone. We text, but we don't talk. I talk to Diana more on the phone than I talk to anybody. But I know who I can call with what. I know I can call Cortina about this. I can talk to Diana about this. I go to Pam. Pam is, y'all don't understand, she's a sharpshooter in the spirit. So sometimes when I really need a real tightening up, when I really need to come out and be like, oh, I got some bolts loose, honey. Let me go get some real sharpening. Pam, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Girl, shut up. So A, B, C, B, E, F, G, and fuck that shit. Goddamn that shit. Now what the fuck is gonna do next? Now, and God bless you. Amen. Okay, girl, I love you. Bye.
Oh, I am dying. What in the world?
That works for me.
Oh, Jesus.
When I'm in my mood of I'm a hood, I'm about to pop out on a
when you
I'm
in the street
at the same time, I'm going to Cortina. And when I want to choke the hell out of Alton, baby, you know who I'm calling, Cortina. Like, I know what to do. So you gotta again access. The importance of access and understanding that every relationship is not going to be or look the same. Be okay with the fact you have access. That's a blessing. Having access is a blessing.
Yes, it is.
So if you're sitting over there getting in your feelings because I ain't got enough time for you, that lets me know right there that you ain't even praying for me. So that's a red flag for me.
Yes.
If you're not able to recognize that my check engine light is on, and I don't have to talk to you every day. I need for you to be able to pick up what I'm putting down. That's friendship.
Yeah.
I think that's major. Because I know there are certain times and certain friends where if I'm in a season and the phone just rang out of nowhere, I was just thinking about you. Well, how did you know? Like, we ain't even talked. Like, how did you know to call? And I start running it, and they're like, yeah, something just told me to call you. So, and those, I agree. You do have, people have their proper place, right? In the friendship. I like to call it the friendship circles of life, with all of our friends. But that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the sisterhood.
Yeah.
That women who are shunning that are not allowing themselves to truly experience.
Yeah.
I think for me, across the board, I like my friends, all of them being different, but I have one standard for all my friendships that have to be the same. I have to be able to be vulnerable at all times.
Yeah.
All the time, because no matter what, even if I'm picking or choosing who I want to go to, I want to be able to feel vulnerable. Like I can show up, and if I need to cry, if I need prayer, if I need, if I need to go get the shovel or whatnot, I need to be able to be vulnerable with all of my relationships, because that is where it holds the most value, because then I know I can completely and utterly show up as who I am in my most authentic space. Because if my spirit is saying don't, then I'm going to evaluate that relationship, in some kind of way, because vulnerability is so important and we take it for granted. But we need to be able to be vulnerable with the people in our circle. No matter which one you have to choose from when you're going through something, you want to be able to show up and them not saying, or them saying, oh girl, you think you have problems, here's my problem.
Exactly.
Well, I'm calling you because I need to show up vulnerable. I'm showing up vulnerable and you're dismissive to my vulnerability when I'm trying to open up and share. So that to me is definitely a requirement for my relationships.
Yeah, that's real, because sometimes, we're all human, and there are certain times and seasons in life where we need that. We need a shoulder to lean on, an ear to hear us, someone to help us process. And
Yeah.
if, you know, we need to shed a couple tears, we need a safe place.
We definitely do. Certainly. Won't be, you know, you call somebody crying, be like, bitch, I know you're not crying. No, I don't need it's like,
What is you crying for? What is wrong?
because so what that tells me, you know what, honestly, when people come back like that, and I'm being honest, when people come back like that, they have a false sense of reality of who you really are. They're like looking in and only seeing one thing instead of feeling you deep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why vulnerability is important.
I
And,
like friends. I'm crying. They crying too.
that makes it.
Look, everybody crying. Like, look,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
You know, people are
okay.
like, "Girl, you don't have nothing to cry about. You have this going on for you, this going on for you, this going," but all that you can have going on because you're watching someone from the outside. That lets me know that you mean to tell me all this time your ass has been on the outside. I need to keep you on the outside now because now I don't feel comfortable letting you in because I tried to be vulnerable and you're in almost groupie mode, like, because you're looking at what's being posted and you're looking from the outside, yeah, and you're admiring that, but you're not respecting the fact that I'm still human and I'm hurting and I'm coming to you because I'm thinking we're a friend. So it goes back to what you said, Cortina. It's like, you know, to me they're a friend, but on the flip side, I'm not their friend. So, you know, that really like sums up like what we've been talking about when we're talking about being vulnerable and having friendships and relationships and when to let go. Or the question is, Cortina, you never answer, how do you know, like, other than situations, how do you really know when with the role of friend with someone? Like, how do you make that discernment to say we're both friends? Because did she tell me, did she not tell me? How do you address that, as you know, to ensure that the friendship is reciprocated in that sense? That's where it's like reciprocation matter. I'm a friend, you're a friend, we're friends.
So there are different behaviors that can be indicators that this person is a friend, right? This is where it comes up to these red flags and green flags and yellow flags. If a person is doing something, if they show up for you, now showing up looks different for everybody. If you feel like you can go to them, if you feel like if you had an issue, they would be there for you. Those are some green indicators that this person also sees you as a friend. And I do think that it's good if you don't ever hear them call you friend. I mean, well, that's an indicator. Have they ever said, I'm going to have a dinner party with my friends? If you ain't on the list, well, baby, you might not be a friend, and you helping to plan this dinner party that you don't even have an invitation to. That might be an indication that you are not a friend.
A clear one.
If something, and people share different things, but if 10 people knew about this thing and you were left out and everybody else talking about it and they like, oh, you ain't know, they might not see you in the same category as they see these other individuals. And I ain't talking about just one person, like the person that they tell that. I'm talking about 15 people. Y'all just happen to be out. Oh, everybody knew about that. I'm finding out with the commoners. Oh, okay. I might not be a friend. And so through conversation, the way people talk about you, the way they embrace you, those can be indicators before you actually have, and before you have to ask. Like, I don't have to ask, am I your friend, right? I've heard you say it before. You show it. So there's no question in my mind if we are friends. I think it would be a good thing to say, hey, I really enjoy, you know, the connection we have. Do you see me as a friend? If you are uncertain about this relationship, I think you should ask. If you are unsure, if you are unclear, they have never said anything about you being a friend, we have to use our mouths to communicate and get the answers that we want, because you don't want to just assume.
That's right.
You might be surprised about what you find out, because there are some people, they're not gonna lie to you. They'll be like, I mean, I see you as an associate.
Or they say, we're cool, we cool.
We cool.
That one,
girl, you know. Look, you know we
cool.
Right.
We cool. You might not be in the wedding lineup. if we just cool. Now, I'm not saying you have a bunch of friends where everybody can be in the wedding party, right? You might just, I know somebody, they only had married people in their wedding party. All right, that's them. That's what they wanted. If you were not married, you were not a part of the wedding party. So you can't be this single person going on dates every other week and mad at your friend. You just ain't fit the category that she was looking for at that particular time. So that's not you can't use that as, well, she ain't my friend because she ain't had me in the wedding. Well, duh, you ain't. Are you married?
Right.
Okay, well, you ain't in the wedding party. Or they only had their siblings in the wedding party. Well, if you feel away, you communicate that with your friend. Dang, is there any other way that I can be a part of your special day? I might not be in the lineup, but is there something else that I could do for you to help you and be a part? They may say yes. They might say no. It really depends on your particular relationship with that person. Me being me, I don't think I would ever ask anybody to be in a wedding. Like, I just think that's crazy. But and I feel like for me, and maybe this is just the way I see the world, if someone doesn't have me in their wedding, there's a reason why. And I'm hoping that they would communicate with me if, you know what, I didn't have enough room. There wasn't enough guys. You know, I know it's going to be here. It's going to be a lot of money because weddings are extremely expensive.
Yes, they are.
And sometimes you don't want to put the added pressure or weight on your friend if you know they can't necessarily afford it. Now, you may offer, okay, well, if I pay half, would you mind being in my wedding? I won't be offended if you can't. That's a real friendship. Because just because I'm not standing next to you, that does not devalue our friendship. It does not take anything away from me being your friend. And so I think if you don't know it beyond the shadow of a doubt, if this person ain't never called on you, ain't never shared nothing personal with you, ain't never did any of those things, then I think it's time to go to the next step. You might need to open your mouth and you might need to ask for clarity.
So how about this? If you are a friend, you got an invitation to the wedding. And then you know what a friend does? Whatever needs to happen, they do it. That's what friends do. If you got an invitation, you were a friend. Right then and there, you were a friend. So the moment you got there, and if there was a need, you show up. You be there for your friend.
Yeah, but I also think that
I don't need a title or to say this is who I am in her life. I got an invitation. I have access.
Amen.
So not everything is made for everybody. I think that's the thing. Everybody has their place. And I know that if just because, like, if I wasn't in somebody's wedding, I'm not going to get upset. Right. I'm just not, because I'm of the mentality that, if I, like you said, if I got a wedding, cool. But the other part is if it bothered me, I would be, because you're my friend, I would be like, you know what, I thought I would be in the wedding, hey, I thought we were better than that, but I just want to know why, if I felt that way. And I'm just explaining what happened to me during my wedding. People were lying to me because they didn't get chosen to be in my wedding, and I had to dissolve certain relationships or downgrade some, because I feel like, if you would have, when I ask you, especially when I ask you, see, there are some things I just did. When I ask you if you have a problem, and I know you have a problem because you're going behind my back talking about it to everybody but me, you're going to downgrade, because not only was I woman enough to come to you, you weren't woman enough to talk to me. And so for me, it's like, now I got to go and evaluate relationships and friendships, and I have to do what it is that I have to do, because I'm going to be at peace regardless. And so I think the most important part is, being able to communicate exactly how you feel if you're hurting, because that's what real friends do. And especially if I say, like, you all are like my sisters, like, we can fall out, we could do this, but I'm going to show up and I'm be like, girl, what are we going to do to resolve this? Like, we're not doing this no speaking thing. No, what's your attitude about? Because I'm just that kind of friend. I don't expect perfection. I don't know any relationship that's going to be perfect, but I do like being trustworthy and honest enough that you can be vulnerable with me to share exactly what's hurting you. So,
Amen.
and ladies, god dang, we're already at the top of the hour. Just that quick.
Wow.
What a
Yeah.
great conversation this evening.
Yeah.
Really great.
I know. So it's round robin it. Shay, where can everybody find you at?
Did you say me?
Yes.
Okay. You can find me at www.thecoachofcourage.com, or you can always find me on Instagram at Coach of Courage.
And Diana, where can everybody find you at?
Yes, you guys can find me at Diana Richardson Philippus on all social media platforms. And yeah, there you go.
And Dr. Lewis.
You can find me at The Girlfriend Therapist on all social media platforms, and the Noir, Noir Center also.
And you can find me on all social media platforms at I am DRPGURLEY. I am Dr. P. Gurley. And of course, you can follow the Herspiration Happy Hour. We are on, Instagram, Facebook, on YouTube. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. You can go back and catch up on the latest shows. And we are back now for our second, the second half of our season. Y'all think this conversation is juicy. We got so much stuff going on and coming up to have conversations with you all, but we got to skedaddle. So until next Wednesday, as we always say, cheers. Have a great week.
Bye, y'all.
This is Herspiration Happy Hour.